All right. I made this little riff, and I did it on this one, and I hadn't changed the strings in a while. Ooh, it's dusty too. So I was like, you know what? I need content. Let me go ahead and change these strings. Oh well, can you see this? There we go. All right. The only thing, I every time I do this, I'm like, I need to get locking tuners. I have not been able to. I haven't looked as much as I should probably, but if anybody knows where I can get locking tuners for a 7-string guitar, black locking tuners for a 7-string guitar, I'm all ears, because locking tuners just make everything easier. The strings terminate right here, so it's not like it's a Floyd or something. I'd love to get the Jeff Loomis 7-string. He's got a Jackson, a beautiful Jackson. And his has a Floyd, so you don't need locking tuners because it locks at the nut and then locks at the Floyd. And I wouldn't mind getting a Floyd. I have a what's the other one? I forgot the name of it now. It starts with a K. Kaler. I have a Kaler on my Hanneman guitar, but that handles differently than a Floyd. I've only ever played around with the Floyd at like Guitar Center, so I've never sat around and actually played one. But yeah, locking tuners. 7-string is a lot of fun. You can do a lot of weird stuff with it, which is fun. Oh, speaking of which, I just played it and I forgot to hit export. There we go. So, changing strings isn't that big of a deal on the 7-string, so long as I don't go bigger than 59. I'm using the Diodario. What is it, 10 to 59? You want to focus? No? There we go. There it goes. Okay. When you bring it out of, this is Sony, when you bring it out of autofocus, or when you put it in manual and then bring it back to autofocus, the autofocus doesn't like to kick in sometimes. Anyway. I'm trying to just get this done quickly because I want to move on to other things, but this has been on my list, literal list of things that I want to get done. And it is string through, I guess, technically. I don't know what you'd call this bridge. I'm guessing it's a string through bridge. And of course it takes my, there it goes. In theory, you could leave this for a little while, but you're not supposed to. At least I don't think. This is a set neck. It's not a string. It's not a bolt-on. But I don't know if you're supposed. Oops. See, look at that. It's not supposed to come out, but it did. That, there. And of course, the biggest string brought is. Whenever I try to do something really quick, I always screw it up. So I always found I should take my time on things. Because that's how I break stuff, that's how I screw something up. I'm trying to get through it quick every time. Anytime I try to rush myself through something, I always have to just, okay, deep breath. It's okay. It may take a minute, but it'll be right, and then you don't have to do it again. Or blah, blah, blah isn't broken anymore. Blah, blah, blah is broken, especially with work stuff. Anyway. Ooh, this thing's dirty. These are, this is one I found on Amazon of all places. And I just like I like the shape. I wish it weren't flat black, but, because I prefer I already have like 2 other flat black, or matte black, or whatever they call it. But, you know, I prefer shiny now that I've had enough matte black, but whatever. It plays really well. It sounds really cool. So, as cool as I can make it sound. I'm not any good, but I mean, make it work. This is, yeah. So the first two, purple and silver is what they're calling that. I was just calling like regular metal color, but whatever. Anyway, I think I'd really, I've been writing stuff in, oh, please let me grab this metal off the floor. Where's the top? When you drop these, when you drop the thin ones on the ground, unless you can grab the little piece, you can never get it back. So I'd like to do more 7-string stuff, but just hadn't gotten around to it. A lot of this stuff I do on 6, I could probably do on 7. Just play around with different ideas. It's not like I'm writing Grammy award-winning material. I'm not selling out Madison Square Garden tomorrow. You know, it's just enjoying trying to make things. You have an idea, and then you just come around to it. And if I can make if I can make an idea in my head sound kind of like what I wanted, like what it sounded in my head with my fingers and a guitar, that's pretty cool. I always feel a sense of accomplishment when that happens. And also, anytime I like something, guarantee, especially with pictures. Whenever I take a picture of something like a bird and it comes out really good, and I'm just like, oh wow, that was a great picture. I'm really good. That's like one of the best pictures I've ever taken. Nobody likes it every single time. I make a song or something like that, and it's like, oh, that one actually came out pretty cool. Nobody listens to it. When I make a video that I actually think is pretty good, nobody watches it. So, you think at this point I would be kind of used to nobody watching, but every now and again I get whacked right back into reality that, hey, nobody watches this crap. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because, ooh, that's bad. See, I'm trying to rush through this and it's screwed up. Perfect example. But yeah, anytime I like something, I do something that I feel happy with, or like, wow, this is actually something good. Nobody watches it, nobody listens to it, nobody whatever. And then every now and again they'll line up. I'll like something and people will watch it, and I might even get like a comment that somebody watched it every now and again. Probably like, with how many videos I do, that happens like once, whenever. Why is it so bright? Did I? Nope, I didn't. Wow. That proves I am here alone. No one helps me with these things. It would be cool to have help every now and again. There's the other string. But I can feel confident about complaining about stuff like that here because nobody will watch it eventually. But, I mean, I hate it when people... I'm trying to do a dozen things at once. And, of course, the second... Oh, I'm not doing that. Okay. this. I had like an idea I think I can add to. I already started to add to it when I recorded it for TikTok. I'm still making TikToks. It's the actual day is the 13th of August. I don't know when TikTok's supposed to go dark again and switch over. It's supposed to switch over to the new app in March, and the new app is supposed to be unveiled in like a month from now, allegedly. So I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen with TikTok? I really wish it would have stayed the way it stayed, but that rarely happens. Ooh, okay. I thought it snapped, but it just sat in the saddle a little bit better. Okay. Okay, green, black. Green is next. It's always the high E that gives me a problem. So once I get past the high E and I set into a rhythm, everything's fine. So I have an idea. I think I can flesh it out a little bit more. It's just time. And then, do I want to devote my time to making things for TikTok? Not really, especially considering it's going away, and especially considering if I don't post multiple times in a week. And sometimes I have multiple ideas, I just don't feel I should be wasting my time on making TikToks. I'll still watch, but I don't know. It's kind of, everything is all over the place, and it just feels like maybe I just shouldn't be devoting my time to creating. I still, like I said, I still watch, but where I'm going, I don't know. Where I'm going is loops.video, but when I've already been posting to loops.video, loops.video. So that's the Mastodon federated version of Instagram. Quite a few people on there. It's still in beta, but I don't have to worry about who's going to be in charge of it, who's this and that, you know. I really wish the protesters in LA and DC would switch over to that and they wouldn't have to worry about being censored and whatnot, but that's another video I need to make, talk about that. Not that I can fix it or anything, but you know. There's so much stuff going on and there's so many terrible, terrible things happening to people right now. It's hard to keep up and keep pace and keep informed and not to fall into despair, really. I see so many people suffering all around the world and even just in this country, seemingly down the street almost. To do something as trivial as this really feels silly at times, like, oh, I get to make my music or whatever. But yeah. There it goes. I could feel that it didn't sit right. So, see, once I get into the rhythm of doing this, it's not that bad. I couldn't imagine. I mean, when I first started doing this, it would take me so long because I would be so nervous about breaking something or whatever. And then you learn where the tolerances are and where you can push and you shouldn't. And then it's nice to see the memes of people tuning their guitar going like that because they don't want the string to pop in their eye. And I'm the exact same way. I feel that way too. It's like, boy, I hope this doesn't. So again, if someone knows black, they can be shiny black, I don't care. Black tuners or locking tuners for a 7-string guitar. I know where there's 6. In theory, I guess I could just do 6 and then leave the 7th one unlocked. I don't want to do that though. I'd rather just do them all. I found one at one point, but they weren't. They were 6 on a, or 4 and 3 on a side, and those are differently oriented than 6 on a side. So I'm gonna set this. This is the last one. I'm gonna set this. I'm gonna tune it and then set it to the side and let it sit. Although I never take these outside, and so they stay in a temperature controlled, my house. So they, this shouldn't, warp or anything, but just letting it sit for a little bit doesn't hurt. And plus I have other things I have to do. So if I can just get this set and tuned reasonably, and if it sits overnight and wants to change a little bit, it won't hurt anything. Where am I? 16 minutes, that's not too bad. It usually takes about 12, 13 minutes to do 6 strings, so not bad. So, okay. I've been meaning to put a fresh set of strings on this for a while. And then I played the riff and it was kind of like, it was okay, but it wasn't as bouncy as it should be, but let's try it out. Perfectly in tune.